Welcome to week 5. Last week's work with synchronous and asynchronous instruction was very interesting and brought out some of the promises and problems associated with real-time communication. Because we're still of a generation in which the majority of the instruction that we've received has been via face-to-face modes, we heavily invest in the immediacy of synchronous interaction in our teaching, believing that asynchronous modes offer somehow lesser experiences for us and our students. We like being proximate to our students in time, and even more preferably in time and space, so that we can immediately register the responses of our students and adjust our presentations accordingly. We also believe that synchronous interaction offers greater opportunity for spontaneity that the delayed transactions of asynchronous interaction seem to discourage. But despite the number of tools at our disposal, communicating with our students real time when they are dispersed from our classrooms adds significant layers of complexity to our instructional design. While telephone calls and teleconference bridges are easy to use and familiar to everyone, they don't address the visual elements of our communication. Remote desktop applications and video conferencing provide visual elements. We can see each other and share our computer screens, but we have to negotiate a relatively steep, but fortunately short, learning curve for their use. And we need to ensure that our hardware and network connections are properly configured so that activities can take place. Every time that we introduce technology into our teaching, we're also introducing points of failure. Those who participated in the Google Plus video chat sessions noted how frustrating it can be to connect via voice and video. What I'll do is use synchronous interaction for very specific and limited situations. I'll offer online office hours via video chat, and I'll frequently use desktop sharing to assist students on an individual basis. In these instances, I always provide a backup telephone number in the event of technical difficulties. I'll use Google Voice for my telephone service, but you can point students to any telephone number. Occasionally, I'll do large group video sessions via Google Plus or Skype. Most of the time in these situations, the communication will be one-directional, with the students taking a more passive role in the session. These sessions usually are associated with a guest presenter. We'll collect questions during the course of the presentation from the students via email for response after the formal presentation itself. What's interesting is how sophisticated synchronous resources are becoming in business and industry, and in many ways higher education lags significantly behind. Part of this lag is attributable to the barrier of high cost of entry. Not to be discounted are colleges and universities' inherent conservatism in instructional design. But by taking a look at resources like Microsoft HoloLens and other augmented, not virtual, augmented reality tools should make us pause. Do we really need to be physically proximate for high quality instruction to occur? I'll send you a link to a recent article on virtual lab activities for your consideration. This week, we'll work with various forms of multimedia production and continue our work with social media. Next week, our last week, we'll explore ways of using technology to respond to student work. Please take care.